Okay, good morning, folks. Day 25. I just climbed up that mess. I came from up there all the way up over that peak. Why they feel the need to make you go over the peak and not come down through the pass, I'm not sure why, but I guess that's part of the deal, right? And then going up, I still got to go up all the way up to that peak. Probably the last 12 to 16 hours are probably the most challenging mentally that I've had on the trail. I made several safety dangerous decisions last night that I wouldn't normally make. I got stuck above the tree line. I got stuck someplace. Weather socked me in. This is a little prequel video to the video coming up right after this. I was trying to edit it so I could get the first part of the video to make it a different video because of the views. It was going up Mount Washington, and I accidentally cut the whole intro off to this next video, so it's a little out of context. So this video is just to let you know I was talking about going up Mount Washington a little later than what I should have, and how beautiful day it was at the time. Though the sun was shining, I came up on a sign that said stop, if the weather's bad, do not go past this point. It was gorgeous. You could see for freaking miles. No clouds. There were wispy clouds, but there were no indication of any storms or anything like that. And I started climbing up Mount Washington, and I got about half a mile from the top, and the fog rolled in. And you couldn't see anything. I spent 20 minutes on top of Mount Washington just trying to find my way down the other side. That's how fogged in it was. You couldn't see anything. So anyway, that sets up to where the video starts about me saying when the fog rolled in. I was talking a little bit about rock cairns. The way you get down off this mountain is you follow the rock cairns, because it's all rock. There's no trail. It's all rock. So it's very easy to get lost. And I started getting lost. So, because I couldn't follow the rock cairns and the fog was so bad. And my headlamp, when I ended up, I think the story might be into the headlamp part, so I might not need to say that, but I'll just, you know how it is when you turn your headlamp on or your fog lights on or regular lights on in your car. You just light up the fog. You don't make it any better. Anyway, so this is the pre-video setup for what you're getting ready to watch. So needless to say, with the fog rolling in and not being able to see those, I'm sort of wandering aimlessly across the rocks. And I get, you know, you walk a couple hundred yards and you should see a rock cairn by then. Don't see one. So now I got to pull out the phone, open up gut hooks, get my bearing, and get back over to where the trail is. So this goes on for a while, and now it's starting to get dark. Now I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to do? It's just rock. There's no place to stop. So I break out my headlamp, and I put that on. I start walking. All the headlamp is doing is lighting up the damn fog. So, you ever been driving in the fog and turn your headlights on? Boom, you can't see anything. So I'm wandering around using my phone like a Geiger counter looking for radiation, trying to keep on the trail. I fall a couple of times because I'm looking at my stinking phone. And I'm just thinking, man, this is This is bad juju. I'm getting lost. I'm falling. I don't know where I'm going. This is not good. And I'm right on the side of the cliffs. I mean, it wouldn't take much for me to fall over. So I get concerned. So I start looking, and I'm looking. And it's about 9:30 when I finally found that spot I found. And I just by happenstance, I just happened to see this little footpath looking thing in these bushes. And I looked in there, and there was a dirt spot in there with no plants, no nothing in there, like score. So that's where you saw me last night in my tent. The wind was so bad. There was 30-mile-an-hour wind last night. The fog. You're not supposed to camp up here. It's dangerous if the lightning comes in and all that. So I set my alarm for like 4 o'clock. So I could get up and be ready by dawn so that I could get back on the trail without being in the bushes and stuff. I didn't like it. You're not supposed to do it, but I was stuck. I wasn't going to risk my life for that, so I went in there anyway. So I get up this morning. I'm hiking by between 5 and 5:30, and then I'm walking like somebody on death row. I'm walking slow. I'm mentally drained. I was up most of the night because of the wind and the tent flapping and all of that. And being where I was pretty close to one of the cliffs. It was a bad juju all around. So I kept going, or I got up going. It's about 4 miles to the next hut. So I'm like, okay, just get down to the hut. They'll be open. I can get a cup of coffee, just regroup, all that. It took me, I don't know, almost 4 hours to get down that almost 4 miles. I'm walking, I'm dejected. Every rock I gotta climb down, I don't want to climb down it. I was over it. So I finally made my way to the hut. Got some coffee. So the one thing I've been leapfrogging this guy for the last week. So I get up in the morning real early and I start hiking, and I pass by his tent every time. And then about 3 hours later, here he comes. He pops by me, we say hi, we talk a little bit, and then he keeps going. And then I stop at the end of the night. Next morning, I walk by his tent again, so we go back and forth that way. Anyway, he got caught in that last night too. He was just ahead of me. He ended up camping about half a mile ahead of me. And we talked this morning once we got down to the hut. He caught up to me at the hut. He goes, "That's the worst night I've ever had on trail." I'm like, I'm telling you. So, anyway, bad decisions. This view you just saw, I'm still not below tree line. Thank goodness it's nice out and it's not storming and the views are good. So, in a sense, it was worth it being up here, but it was not worth the risk. And I just miscalculated, misjudged my timing. I just did something stupid. So I got 26 miles to the hostel. Today's Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. I could make it into tomorrow night. I don't want to. I'm not going to press again. I need to get down off this mountain. It's pretty much all downhill to get to the hostel. I mean, there's some uphills, but nothing like I've been through. I'm through the big boys. I'm through the presidentials. I'm done with that. So I have some more 4,000-foot peaks, but the whites are almost done. And so 26 miles, I'm going to bust that up over the next 2 days. And then on Sunday morning, I'm going to Nero, so only got a mile. I think there's a shelter 2 miles from the hostel. I'm going to Nero, stay at that shelter, or stay around that shelter, should I say, and go in Sunday morning, get my own room, for Sunday and Monday. I blew out my shoes, like I said, so Sunday I'm going to just get in the afternoon sometime, hang out, do my laundry, clean up, all that stuff, dry out all my gear, do all that, order a pizza because they have pizza delivery at the hostel there, and then Monday morning get up. They're going to shuttle me to Gorham. They have an REI, they have a Walmart, so I'll do a 0 on Monday. I'll get new shoes, get new pants. I need a heavier carabiner for my bareback. And I'll go to Walmart, resupply to get me through the rest of the whites. And I earned I earned a 0, that's for sure, being up here. These mountains have kicked my ass bad, and I'm still not out of them. So, but I just finished the worst yesterday. Mount Washington is the pinnacle of this mountain range, so at least for the AT. So anyway, so yeah, 12, 13 miles max today. I need to get down, and I didn't think I'd say this, but I just can't wait to see the trees again and get into the dark forest, because that's protection. That's safety. There's always places to sleep in there. There's always cover. You're not in the wind. The wind up here is just unrelenting. So anyway, that's my story for this morning. There's some other stuff. I waited. I think it's 10 o'clock now. I waited because I wanted to get up here and maybe get some of these views. Like I said, it's awesome. For those of you, a couple of you guys, John, I know you did them with me. If you remember the rocks going up to Muir Hut, go multiply that by a lot. That's what it's like. You're just rock climbing for miles and miles and miles. The whole way up, 4,000 feet over how many miles? I don't know how many miles. I don't know off the top of my head. Just rocks. It's rocks, rocks, rocks. It's crazy. So anyway, that's my story for this morning. I'll get back to you a little later. I want to touch on something what I was just talking about. I'm not complaining. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because this was my decision to come this far north and start here. I'm taking a beating because I wasn't ready for this. Wasn't. All these guys that hike this trail, 80% of them start at Springer Mountain in Georgia, which means they've got 1,600 miles to get their feet conditioned, and they go through Pennsylvania, where they call Rocksylvania, because the rocks are so bad in Pennsylvania, and they're conditioned. They're ready for it. They've got those long rolling hills down south, and it gradually gets harder and harder as you go. So by the time you get here, you're ready for this, in essence. So don't get me wrong, most of those guys hiking it still say that the whites are ball busters. They are. So, but at the same time, this is totally self-inflicted. This is totally mental stuff on my part. This is total foot annihilation on my part, because my feet weren't ready for this. So anyway, just I have to take full credit for this ass whooping, because I'm the one that made the decision to come up here this far. I could have started at Harper's Ferry at the halfway point and been in much better shape to do these whites, but I didn't. I did what was logistically easiest, and I still think that's going to pay off for me in the end, because I got this out of the way. My feet are really, And I'll be honest with you too, I got the wrong shoes. I love the Ultras. If I'm hiking, like hiking, not rock climbing, I love the Ultras. I love how wide they are. I love the feel. I love the grip. Everything about them is perfect for me. But my feet, nah. So I'm going to REI this weekend. I think I'm going to change. I won't change from Ultras. I'll change to like the Timp or the Olympus that has a really thick sole. Because there's still a lot more rocks to climb. I got to get to Monson to get my other pair of shoes. So I'm going to get some more support, sole support, for my feet for the rest of New Hampshire and Maine. And then New York and Pennsylvania, those all got lots of rocks too. So anyway, this is self-inflicted, I promise you. I got nobody to blame but me. So wear the right shoes. These rocks are never ending. This is all you're doing. This ain't hiking, this is mountaineering. Well, good morning, folks. Reminds me of Lord of the Rings. You know where they got the signal towers, where they light them on fire so it goes all the way across the ranges. So we've got Cairn here, you got one out there, you can see one in the ridge there. So each ridge line or each peak has a cairn on it. Almost looks like those signal fires. Yep. Sort of like that, huh? Oh, look where I am. Path, trees, some rocks, but not any concern. Even the mosquitoes, well, maybe not the mosquitoes, but I'm back down below tree line. Woohoo! You know, on most hikes, most days, you look at the hike, you look at the map, and you're like, ooh, there's a lot of downhill today. Woohoo! Not that much climbing. And the whites, it's like, oh shit, there's a lot of downhill today. Well, everybody, end of day 25. I think I did, I'm almost 14. I think I'm almost 14. I don't know if I'll make 14 or not. I'm just coming up to where I'm gonna stay. I think I'm going where I'm gonna stay. There's still a lot of daylight left. Depending on what this this stealth spot looks like, I might go a little farther, but for the most part, right around 13, 14 miles. Good day, almost all, pretty much all downhill. Like I was saying earlier, and usually you're excited about downhill. Up here in these mountains, downhill's hell on the knees. A lot of dropping down off of rocks, so a lot of impact on the knees. Anyway, still got, I don't know, yesterday my number said something different. I'm so confused out here about where I am and where I'm going, so I think I'll make it into where the hostel is on Sunday, take a zero on Monday, go in and get my stuff from REI and Walmart, and I think that's gonna happen Sunday, Monday, something to that effect. I don't know, I guess however it works out, I'll let you know. Hopefully I'll get some videos out then and keep you guys updated, or like I said, hopefully I'll get this video out to you. You'll know, or you won't know. So White Mountains, almost done, almost finished, almost to Maine. Woohoo! Oh, big news! Went over 300 miles today too. Woohoo! So 300 miles, pretty good at this point. That's good. That puts me just under halfway to Katahdin. But a lot less treacherous areas coming up. I should be able to make better time. Body's really is in good a shape as it's going to get. Hopefully new shoes will improve make me run faster. Anyway, maybe I'll get the ones that sparkle when you walk. Drive all the hikers crazy. Anyway, that's my story for day 25. I was looking at the numbers too. I don't know that my numbers add up. I missed a day somewhere or something. I don't know, because I think we're on, I think today's the 24th, but I started 2 days before the end of June. I lost a day somewhere. So anyway, I have to sit down and figure it out. So that's my story. I'll see you tomorrow.